I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic book show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, a new generation of stories is unfolding before us. Yes, that's right. It's Batman Rebirth issue number 1, brought to us by Scott Snyder and by the new Batman writer Tom King. What do they have on offer? Well, let's hop on in and see. So as the comic opens, Duke Thomas, a character who has been shadowing the Bat family pretty much since the 0 year, shows up at stately Wayne Manor. More on Duke in a minute, because as we find out, Batman is currently locked in a death battle against none other than Calendar Man, who is attempting to release a bunch of toxic spores all over Gotham City. Day, in classic supervillain fashion, goes on a rant about how the cycle of life and death is meaningless and the wheel of which the world turns is broken, but how he will cure it, yada yada yada. Actually, in this story, we see Scott Snyder and Tom King do a crazy job reimagining Calendar Man, who before he was just a crazy dude obsessed with, days of the month. Now he actually ages with the months and is reborn. While Batman was able to stop Calendar Man, the spores that were released are wreaking havoc on Gotham's weather system, and because of it, they are deep in the grips of a crazy heat wave right now. Bruce Wayne takes a very important business meeting with Lucius Fox in the way that only he can, by doing pull-ups on the helipad. Eat your heart out, TV's Arrow. Lucius says that he was able to work his legal, bureaucratic, red tape kung fu and get Wayne Enterprises out from under the governmental control that they were suffering with in the fallout of Batman Eternal. This means that the company is once again 100% free and clear. Bruce is to run however he sees fit. Bruce even makes mention of the fact that it seems like him and Lucius do this a lot. Bruce will lose a fortune and then Lucius will win it back for him. And believe it or not, that's more than just a piece of lampshade hanging, as I'm going to describe as we reach the end of the comic. Batman figures that the Calendar Man probably hid more dangerous spores somewhere in the city and that he should deal with them before they can do any more damage. For this, he enlists the help of Duke. The interesting thing, though, is Duke says he doesn't really need Batman's help or approval. He's been making it on his own as a hero, as a Robin on his own. Yeah, sure you were, Duke. Over in We Are Robin, that book everyone loved and enjoyed. Batman, quite surprisingly, though, agrees with Duke, saying he's not exactly looking for a new Robin right now, but that the two of them are still going to work together and maybe, just maybe, find out a different way of doing things. With Duke's help, Batman risks life and limb diving for an underwater cache of spores to blow them. To do this, he ends up going to depths and pressures that no sane person would go to, but hey, this is Batman we're dealing with, and sometimes to fight crime, you gotta be just a little bit insane. Now, like I said at the top of this video, this was half written by Scott Snyder and half written by Tom King, and maybe I just know what to look for, but it's easy to pull out a scene like this, wherein the Calendar Man quite literally sheds his skin and is born anew as a younger man. Yep, that's Snyder-esque body horror if I've ever seen it. As the comic winds down, Bruce and Duke take some time to trade in the mansion's front yard. All the while, they mention how the war on crime is never ending. The symbolism here, of course, should be obvious to anyone. Batman, like Calendar Man, is always being reborn, always being rebirthed, if you will. Sometimes the costume is different, sometimes the sidekicks are different, but at the end of the day, it's always the same Batman. And if you needed another visual reminder of this fact, the comic's final page is actually Alfred taking some fruit and feeding the bats in the cave down below. No doubt the same bats that inspired Bruce in the first place. Batman Rebirth number 1 was a bit of an odd issue. Unlike Green Arrow, Superman, and Green Lantern that came out this week, it doesn't really get the ball rolling. It's another one and done farewell story, and also a bit of a baton passing between Snyder and King. Personally, I thought Batman already had 2 really great send-offs in the last 2 issues of the main Batman series, but I suppose every comic is somebody's first, and chances are if you only started reading comics with the New 52, this is your first major changeover, and they want to make it as gentle as possible. As far as the actual story in this book goes, it's definitely metatextual and not literal. Whether or not you're going to like it is whether or not you buy the whole symbolism of rebirth and how Batman and indeed Calendar Man change with the seasons. Personally, I dug it, but I can't begrudge you if you felt it was a little too simple and a little too on the nose, especially for 2 writers who are known for being much more deeper and much more complex than this. Overall, I would give this one a 7, and I can't wait until Tom King starts his run properly with the next issue. you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.